So today, really got to thinking, why is it that everything is so complicated? Is everything supposed to be complicated, or are there supposed to be some things that are just like ease of access that should just be just natural? My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. And today I just been thinking a lot about just certain situations that go on my day-to-day that happen to a lot of people, and doing more research and trying to get more understanding of just, it just seems like everything's so complicated out here. And we try to get into some stuff that we think that we want to do, because it's like you say you want some stuff, certain things that you think that you want, certain desires that you think that you're trying to fulfill, and certain things that you're trying to obtain, that you realize it starts to get real complicated. So for me, I don't know why, but just today I had a very, very good talk that I listened to, that the guy was talking more about my needs and kind of getting out my wants a little bit, that I feel like I've been doing, but trying to get more into your needs and trying to get your needs met, making sure that your needs are satisfied. Instead of worrying about anything that you could possibly want on this planet, that you got to take a step back sometimes. Just take a lot of steps back and just to try to figure out what is it that, not that I even need for myself. I had a good understanding of what this talk was about, but having a good understanding of what does God need me to do. And I think that's a tricky concept for a lot of people to try to understand, is what could an all supreme being, an all know it all, be all, did it all, what could he possibly need me for? And it's a very interesting situation that I don't know why, but it just really, really puts me down a deep dive of thought of just, he possibly, and more likely, and I guarantee it almost, that he needs me and you and all of us to do something for him. And he needs us to make something happen. And he needs us to be able to provide something, to be able to do something for him. And in reality, I don't need anything. I don't, in reality, need to eat. I don't need to drink. I don't need to go running. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to breathe. I don't need any of that for my own self. And some reason today just really kind of opened my eyes up a little bit of realizing that in reality, I don't have to eat. I don't have to drink any water. I don't have to go out and do anything. I don't have to do anything. I could just be and just see what happens from that. But somehow, some way, there's urges that come to us that tell us, hey man, you're getting hungry, you need to eat. Hey man, you're getting kind of thirsty, you need to do this. Hey, you're getting a little out of shape, you need to make that happen. Hey, you're not quite as smart as you want to be, let's keep going. Hey, you're not well versed in that information over there, let's start to study and learn about it more. Something inside just starts to just give you this massive urge to just do something and to be somebody. And for me, today, I think I'm changing up a little bit of who I am and what I'm all about a little more again. And stopping to worry about even my wants that I had inside of me, of certain wants that I thought I wanted. But in reality, those wants may not line up with what God needs. And what God needs is me to be able to do something for him that in reality, I don't know what it is. And I don't think that anybody in reality knows, as opposed to just us doing what it is that we need to do. And for me, the more and more of today, feeling like I'm running into more complications and more of like I don't knows, and more just overthinking and overdoing, that I just have it in me of knowing that can't be of God, because God is not of confusion. God is not of trying to get us to be just overthinking and not sure where this and what's that. No, he's here to make our lives simpler. So for me, that means that the wants that I was looking for, I may have been trying to push too hard into something that actually isn't good for me, because it shouldn't be confusing. It should just be natural. It should just be easy is the word that I really want to say. Like the way that I put a leash on a dog and I get them to do what I want, that's easy for me. It's not complicated. It's not too much work. When I get an idea of I want to build something and I want to put it together, I get the wood, I get the saws out, I get the drill, I get all the stuff, I get the screws. It's easy. I'm not like, oh my goodness, all this and that. No, I just put it, I don't even use tape measures. I just put it on and I mark and I cut and I do what I got to do. And everything just works out, and it's super simple for me. But there's other things in my life that just aren't so simple. And I just keep questioning, like, what is that? Because sometimes, some days, I'm just on the understanding of like, I feel like I need that. I need that. But then I have to rethink, like, is that a need or is that just a want? Because what I need, it should be simple. But what I want is maybe going to be a little more complicated, because it's not maybe for me. Maybe it's something that I'm trying to push that isn't for exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And that just really, really put a whole lot of thought in me today about some things that I've been doing and some things that I've been going around and some things that I've been even saying to some people. That just makes me have a change of heart of what it is that I actually should be pursuing, what it is that I actually should be just dialing down on and starting to worry more about. Because I don't need anything in reality. Well, God needs something. And if God needs something, he wants me to do something. And if I keep on doing what it is that he wants me to do, my needs will be met. And for some reason, that's something that I can say that I can like prove a little bit with myself. Maybe not to you can understand, but just things that happen to me that have been going on in my day to day that I understand that when I do something that that he needs, that my life, I have what I need. Like when I just look at this, I could just say like, I'm not going to be hungry for a little while, a little while at least. Like I've got an abundance to be able to take care of myself. And was it challenging for me to get this? Not at all. This was very, very easy. I just had inspiration to make a phone call and call it in and get it here, and now it's here, and keep getting what I need and keep doing what I need to do with it. It's been super simple. None of this has been complicated. I had a slight hiccup with trying to build that shelter back there just because one day it was just too windy. But in reality, that day, I just quit working on that day and did something else and realized I just wasn't ready for that at that time. And in reality, I didn't need to do it at that time. I wanted to do it at that time. Hey, Oreo, let's get down. And I just really getting in me to really thinking about the whole needs and the wants, about what it is that we do, and a whole lot of what's going on with how I perceive this world and what it is that I see going on with me on a day-to-day. That sometimes we run into situations where things just get super complicated. Maybe that's just not what we're supposed to be doing. Maybe you're getting into some things where you're just not sure, where you're just kind of guessing too much, where you're just like kind of in a mind game of trying to figure out what is this and what is that, and what is this meaning, what is that meaning. Maybe that's just something that is supposed to throw you off from doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, that God needs you to do. Maybe that's kind of the opposition side of trying to get you away from doing and being and pursuing who you truly are, and trying to get you away from being all about what you're supposed to represent on this planet for God. And for me, I don't seem that I kind of been slipping away from that at all, but I can see in reality in the near future, in the long-term future, that if I keep doing certain things, that I may be slipping up with some stuff that I'm doing, because my mind is getting shifted away from what does God need and turning it into what do I want. And what I want, maybe not what is needed right now. And I have to remove myself and remove my feelings and remove my even dreams and what I think that I'm looking for, and then just say, you know what, I don't want that. I want to do what you want me to do, God. And something in me, since day one, since I've been making these videos, that I don't know how long it's been now. It's been a little while, and I've been doing this every day, and somehow that's been able to transform my life into absolute greatness, I'm going to say. So somehow I've noticed like it's still easy for me, still simple. It's nothing that's complicated. It kind of enhances my day with knowing that this is something that I have to do every day. It brings enjoyment to me. So I notice that must be something that God needs, that he needs me to do this. He needs me to make this happen. He needs me to say something for someone to be able to hear. And for me, I think it's an absolute blessing to be able to live in the times that we live in today, to be able to have this opportunity to be able to speak to more than just one person, more than 2 people, more than 5 people, more than even 6 people sometimes. Even though I just sometimes get in my feelings of, not enough people really watch it, but in reality, I've come to realize I don't care. I'm happy if I just watch it. I'm happy if I'm just able to re-see what it is that I'm doing on a day-to-day to just keep on getting myself better. A lot of times I realize this need that I have, that God is looking for, is not right here, right now. It's something to help me get to where it is that I actually do need to go and going to be going in the future. That if I look at what I have right here, right now, for what it is that I could do for an all-supreme God, then in reality, I'm a nobody, I'm a nothing. But I have to always remember and realize that every single time, every single moment, every single day, every single chance of doing anything is an opportunity to get better. And with everything that I do, I realize I just keep getting better and better. My thoughts start getting more clear. I start being able to put things together more precise, instead of it just being all over the place and all out there. Where I start to really think about what it is that I'm really looking for and really wanting to say, and then actually am able to just put it out there. And sometimes when I try to get on my own agenda, then it does get a little complicated. It does get a little iffy. But when I just speak what it is that I just have to speak, I'm telling you, I just sit down right here and I just look at that camera and that's when it comes up to say. That's what I just figure out what to say. And someone would say, well, that's not a good strategy. But I'm going to say, I'm not looking to make money off of God. I'm looking to spread his message, to push out who he is, and what he's all about, what he's able to do, and how he's been able to help me in my life. I'm not here to make sure that I can collect more people to sell you something, to be able to collect something, to be able to make you to donate to something, to be able to get you here, to be able to get you to laugh about something, to get you to giggle about something. No, I'm here to get you to think about something, to think about who you are, what you are, and what you're doing. so that you can realize that who you are, and what you're doing is maybe not something that you really want. And sometimes what it is that we, like I said, want may not be what it is that we actually need, because what we think that we need is not what we need, because what we need is what God needs. And for me to be able to sit here and say that and have a good understanding of that, and just having different information get brought to me about different ways of looking at stuff on this planet, that's not just, in my opinion, a coincidence. Things happen, in my opinion, for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Everything that we do. There's just no chance. There's just no hidden thing. No, it is what it is. And for me, knowing that, I know that there's a greater purpose on this planet than I could ever be a part of, or you could ever be a part of. It's a collective to be able to do what it is that we're doing. And it's just an absolute blessing to be able to be out here and keep on doing this. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the understanding of knowing that my wants don't matter. My needs don't matter. It's all about what God needs. And I have a whole new way of living, and a whole new way of thinking, and a whole new way of understanding that was just like a over 48-hour shift of what I've been doing and what I've been trying to figure out and what's been going on. To be having a good understanding of knowing that it don't matter what I need. I'm just a mere human being on this planet. I'm just one of who knows how many has been and is going to be. And I need to make sure and always stay on top of my game of knowing that I got to do what it is that God needs and needs me to do something. And I'm going to continue to keep being faithful to that, knowing that what it is that God wants me to do, needs me to do, and wants me to do is simple. It's not complicated. He's not complicated. He's not going to bring us complications. He's not going to bring us strife. He's not going to bring us rage. He's not going to bring us jealousy. He's not going to bring us anything that's just super negative. He's not. He's going to bring us absolute positivity. And that's something that I've been questioned a lot with my day-to-day and things that keep going on and things that I've been a part of in my life, of knowing that, hey Oreo, knowing that sometimes I think that I want something, and I've come to realize it is actually the thing that I wanted is the thing that's been slowing me down. It's the thing that's been jamming me up. The thing that's been deterring me from doing what it is that God needs and God wants. And that's been just sabotaging my own self. And I wonder how many of y'all are sabotaging yourselves because you try to do something that you think you want. You're trying so hard at it, but it just keeps failing you and failing you and failing you. It keeps just bringing complications to you. Maybe you should stop worrying about what you want. Stop even worrying about what you need and start worrying about what God needs and start living that simple, laid back, free life. The life of knowing that you have everything that you possibly could want and need in reality, as long as you do what God needs. Thank you.